I suck. I'm sorry. I was like, I can't hear anything he's saying. And I sent you a message and I was like, but they're talking, so they're probably not seeing it.
No, we were just kind of introducing you by a post that you wrote yesterday. And I love the post you wrote yesterday. It's just talking about how you love to help people believe in themselves again.
Yes.
And all that stuff. So we are, we've got an incredible team here that's ready to take notes. They're ready to hear how you did it. Just share your story and when you joined and the roadmap to success and how it went for you.
Well, I'm super excited. Thank you guys for having me. My journey started in April of last year, so April of 2015. Mine was kind of different. I was definitely one of those girls that I watched on social media forever. I was super skeptical. I never wanted to sell it. I followed Kortney on Instagram for like a year, and then I unfollowed her. I was like, I'm sick of seeing her posts, so I'm going to unfollow her. Like, there's no way she really makes that much money. So I unfollowed her, and then she followed me again like a few days later. I don't know if she like accidentally followed me again or what it was. I had never blocked her, so she had followed me again. So I followed her back. And I watched for a little while, and then her posts were kind of catching my attention. I was like, she's really young. I was working full-time for a hospital. I was going to Oklahoma State 18 hours a week, and I was planning mine and Ryan's wedding. We've been together almost 10 years. But something had happened. Ryan's dad had just passed away at the end of March. He was 42. He had a brain aneurysm, and so he passed away super suddenly. And like a matter of 12 hours, like Ryan's whole world came like crumbling down. I was living 2 hours from Ryan, and so I was only being like able to see him on the weekends. And so I was really wanting to be able to see him more, and I was actually working like 50 hours a week. We were short-staffed. So I was working overtime, and I kept seeing her post about this $1,000 Ruby bonus. And I was like, you know what? If I could make that extra money, I'd actually tried the hair, skin, and nails. I was a customer that got really good results with hair, skin, and nails, but I just never wanted to sell it. So I messaged Kortney, and I was just thinking that the extra $500 a month would compensate for the overtime I was working, and I could actually spend more time down in Marlow with Ryan and his family since they were going through so much. And so we put our wedding on hold. And we postponed it for like 3 months. I joined Kortney literally the week after Ryan's dad passed away. I kind of just went full force whenever I first started. I had watched her for so long. I kind of knew how she posted. I knew it was kind of a social media thing. I had my own results because I was a customer before. Not her customer, but I was just a customer. And so I used those results to get my first customers. I talked to everybody that I knew. I was really involved in dance growing up. We competitively danced and played sports, and I was really involved in 4-H and showing sheep and stuff. I grew up on a farm in southern Oklahoma. So I knew a lot of people. So I literally just reached out to everyone that I knew. I signed up 22 loyal customers my first week. I had no idea really about distributors. I was just knew I was supposed to be signing customers. And then I kind of just, Kortney told me one thing. She was like, fake it till you make it. Like, talk about your goals. Like, they don't, like, if you would have, like, watched my post, you would have thought that I'd been doing it for years. I was just super confident in what I was doing. And so I signed up all the customers. And then my presidential diamond was the first girl that joined me on the business. And I went Ruby in my first 2 weeks. And then I hit Emerald at 3 weeks. And then I remember talking to Ashley Mirth. She was a presidential diamond at the time, and she had messaged me and like reached out to me and stuff. And I was like, I think I'm going to try to go diamond. It was a $10,000 bonus. There was like 7 days left. And she was like, oh, you could do it. I think I needed like 8 distributors. So I actually went diamond in my first 30 days. I think it was like 26 days. I went diamond. And then Mark announced announced the bonuses again. So I was like, I'm going to try to go double diamond. I had no idea that wasn't like the normal thing. I was just going so fast that like, and I was enrolling so many people and had so much excitement and momentum. I didn't really like give myself time to think about it. I was just enrolling my customers, placing my customers, everything that they were telling me to do, I was just doing. And so I was like, I'm going to go double diamond. And Ashley and Kortney were like, okay. So I went double diamond at 2 months. It was crazy. And then so my income after my first check and like all my fast start bonuses, because I was like, these $100 bonuses every week, like they were gonna like, they could pay like all my bills. I remember getting one that was like $800, and I was like, my bills are paid for the whole month. It was so crazy. And that's kind of when my husband was like, oh, you're really gonna make money. So I kept telling him, I was like, I'm gonna get $1,000 bonus. I'm gonna get $1,000 bonus. And then I'm like, I got a $10,000 bonus. And he's like, okay, Kortney, like, whatever. And so after my first check was like $2,000, I think, a little over $2,000. Well, then that was like not with my fast start bonuses or anything. So then after I went double diamond, my check jumped from literally $2,000 to $8,000 in 2 months. And I was like, oh my God, like, I am going to make something of this. Like, this is a huge opportunity. I was having so much fun. I was in Branson with my parents, and Mark announced the bonuses again. And I was like, stop. He's trying to kill me. I was like, because I'm just I'm a red. I like money. I'm pretty competitive. You put that in front of me and say, oh, you can get a $30,000 bonus. I'm going to be doing everything I can to get that bonus. So if I have to talk to 100 people, if I have to talk to 1,000 people, that's what I was going to do. I might add, I was still going to school 18 hours a week, trying to finish up my degree, and I was still working. And so I actually went triple diamond at my 3 months. And after that, I was like, okay, I need to take a break. I was so tired. I was up till like 1 o'clock messaging people, talking to people, enrolling people. And then I was getting up at 5:30, 6 o'clock in the morning to go to work. And like I said, I was still working like 40 to 50 hours a week. So I was like, I'm exhausted. And so then Mark announces the bonuses again for another month. So this is July. Is it July or August? So April, May, June. Yeah, so July. And Jade messages me. And Jade Hooper, everybody knows who she is. I was like, oh my God, Jade just sent me a message, like, what could this be about? And Ashley had told her that I was wanting to slow down, that I was exhausted. And she messaged me and she was like, don't slow down, keep that momentum, like, do not slow down. And I was like, okay, I guess I'm going to go presidential diamond. I'm just a very goal-oriented person, so, like, I have to have it in front of me. If you give me a goal, like, that's what I'm going to be aiming for. So I just told myself, okay, I'm going to go presidential diamond. So in July, the end of July, I hit presidential diamond, and I got the diamond, the double diamond, the triple diamond, and the presidential diamond, all of those bonuses, and went presidential diamond in July. By that time, I ended up quitting my full-time job. I moved down to Marlow with Ryan, and we got a house down here. We got married in October. We paid cash for our wedding. We didn't have to take out any loans. We didn't have to borrow any money. Like, all the money was put back, and we got to pay cash for everything, all of our bridesmaids' dresses, all of the groomsmen stuff. Like, we got to pay for everything. Like, it was such a blessing. His brother and his girlfriend at the time, she found out she was pregnant right after Micah passed away. So Ryan was really worried about him. They were still in high school. And so we were like, how are we going to do this? But they got to move in with us. They're actually just now getting their place. Gunner's he's 10 months old. So we've been able to help them. They've been living with us. We've been able to, like, help them and their family. And Gunner's been living with us for the past year. It's been so awesome. After that, I ended up working and stuff. And I was kind of like, okay, like, presidential diamond, that's an average of $17,000 a month. I was making more than that. I was 25 years old. I wanted Ryan to come home, and he was like, I am not quitting my job. Like, not quitting my job. He just thought that was the craziest thing, that men actually come home. Like, he worked in the oil field. He's always worked, never wanted to. And I was kind of that way. I've always liked to work. I never wanted to be a stay-at-home mom. I never wanted to be a stay-at-home wife, like, nothing. But as soon as I got the vision with this, and as soon as I started making that income and realizing it became more about the people, because when my team was being successful and they were earning these bonuses and they were getting to stay home with their kids, that's kind of what I was working for. So it's kind of like, that was so rewarding and so exciting. They were getting to make extra incomes. They were getting to stay home with their kids. They were talking about Christmas and paying cash. Like, that's kind of what I got passionate about. So that, like, my why kind of changed. And so I was like, you know what? I could help even more people if I wasn't working. I wasn't going to a job every single day. And it was kind of dumb for me to keep working and going to school and all that stuff. I had finished my degree. I got I double majored and got my bachelor's in marketing and management from Oklahoma State. And so I was able to finish my degree. I got to pay cash for my last 2 semesters of college, thanks to It Works. And I didn't have to take out any loans, got to pay for all my books. It was so awesome. We paid on tons of our student loans that we would still be drowning in. And then I ended up going ambassador at my 11 months, thanks to going to conference. I ended up going ambassador at March, and then Ryan finally came home from his full-time job. So he was kind of like, okay, this is dumb. I'm working my butt off every single day. It's hot. It's about to be summer. So he's like, so he came home, and then he came home in March, and at the beginning of April, I found out I was pregnant. So now we're expecting. I am 7.5 months pregnant. We're due at the end of December, and he gets to go to all my doctor's appointments. We're going to get to be a full-time family. Riker's going to get to be with both of us. We're only 26 now, and so this business has completely changed our lives.
Oh my gosh, your story is just so inspiring. I can't believe you're 7 months pregnant because you're so teeny tiny. You're literally one of the prettiest pregnant ladies I've ever seen.
Aw, thanks. I feel it. I'm like so tired all the time. It was like my second trimester, I had so much energy, and now I'm getting to like where I'm exhausted all the time. And I have a cold, if you can't tell, and I cannot get rid of it.
Oh.
So the first thing I got to say is props to Kortney Bohr for just relentless follow-up. And I feel so bad for the girl who didn't follow up. Signed you up as a
I never even talked to her. She was some girl. She was actually like a blogger type girl. I've never even seen her in the business. And she posted about the hair, skin, and nails with her site. I just ordered off of her. She never talked to me, never contacted me. I never heard from her. And then Kortney Bohr is who I signed up under.
Wow. So okay. So let's just kind of go from the beginning, because I love the beginning because you're just brand new. You didn't really know much about much. I mean, you'd seen, like what you said, you had seen what Kortney was, types of things she was posting. So when you went Ruby in those first 2 weeks, was it like all with people you already knew, or were you just posting like crazy on Instagram and getting a lot there? How did that look?
Well, all my customers were a lot of people that I knew, but people that joined my team, I actually just were acquaintances with them. I didn't really know them very well, but I was posting on social media about this $1,000 Ruby bonus, and I was kind of posting about like, it almost seemed like I already gotten the bonus, but I'm like, they're offering $1,000 Ruby bonus. I'm this close to getting $1,000 this month. Like, I was telling them kind of what my goal was, and they were like, she's going to get $1,000. Where I was like, I'm working for a $10,000 bonus. I just joined beginning of this month, and I'm already working towards this kind of income. So I was making sure everyone knew like what I was working for, and that caught people's attention. And Kristen was the first one that joined me, and we actually played basketball against each other in high school. We're from really small towns. I graduated with like 30 people. So I just knew who she was through sports, and she was getting ready to move back to Oklahoma. They were living in Texas. And she didn't want to have to go back to work. She wanted to stay home with Ella, who was like 4 months old at the time. And so she messaged me and used her last $99 to sign up. And then it just kind of took off from there. The people that joined me, I actually enrolled all 5 of them. But my deal was like, I have to have it in front of me. I saw 5 boxes. That's how many distributors I needed. I wasn't like, okay, I can enroll 3, and then I got to teach her how to enroll 2. It was kind of like I was just enrolling. And so it's like I was just counting on myself. Oh, wait, this is how many boxes I have to fill. Okay, I'm going to do this. And so then all the customers I was enrolling were people that I knew. And so I was just working on getting them the volume that they needed for me to promote.
It's amazing.
Yeah, I love that because you joined and you said, I'm getting this bonus no matter what, right? And
yes, and I wasn't like one that was like, okay, like now I have to sit around and wait for her to get 4 customers or her to get 400 volume, and then maybe I'll promote. It's like, okay, if I have to place those orders, I'm like, I see, okay, there's that. She needs 400 volume. I'm going to place my orders there until she reaches 400. It was kind of like I was relying on myself because that's what I wanted. So I wasn't going to rely on someone else to do it for me. I just saw what I needed, and that's how the amount of people I needed to enroll.
So now to go Emerald and one more week after that, just continue, just like what was a daily, what was your activity? What were you doing your day with? Was it just posting and people were going right on and joining, or were you giving like certain scripts, or how were you doing that?
I when I first started on Instagram, I already had I think I had 1,600 followers on Instagram, which isn't a whole lot to what I have now, but when you first start, that's quite a few followers. And then my Instagram, my Facebook, I had so many friends. I think I had 3,500 friends already because we traveled so much with dance and stuff. A lot of people were seeing my posts, and it wasn't really big in Oklahoma. And it kind of come through probably 4 or 5 years ago, but never really took off in Oklahoma. So then it started catching people's eye, and so I was just enrolling them as they were interested. I would schedule my posts at night so that I was making sure that I was posting every 2 or 3 hours, because I know people are in different time zones, so I wanted to make sure that my news feeds and stuff are really fresh. So I would post every 2 hours, but I would schedule them at night because I was working full time. So I just wanted to be able to go in and refresh on my Instagram. I'd set my phone to airplane mode, and I would just go in and refresh whenever I wanted it to post. So that would save me a lot of time. And then at lunch, I would message the people that commented on all my stuff. And then at night, I had homework, of course. So I really had to prioritize my time. Okay, I have an hour that I'm going to do my homework and write this paper, and then I'm going to spend an hour on my business. And I'd only spend an hour. But I never went to bed until all those people that commented got a message from me. And if it took me a while, I was like, hey, girl, I was in class today. I'm sorry. Or, hey, I was at work. I'm sorry. What questions can I answer for you? Or I always made sure that every person that commented got a response from me before I went to bed that night.
That is so cool. So I took a lot of notes just from your story. And so now think back to this. So you had 7 days left in the month, and I guess this was probably in April or whatever. And you knew you needed 8 distributors for diamonds. Obviously 8 distributors and the customers underneath them, the volume, all that. So did you feel like in that 7 days you had to really even turn it up take it to a higher level, or was it just you already had that momentum going?
I had the momentum going, and so I just continued doing what I was doing. I'd enrolled so many distributors already, but I got with my leaders. So I had Kristen that was going Emerald, and I had another girl that was going Ruby. And so I got with them, and I'm like, hey, this is my goal. What is your goal? Do you want to hit Emerald? This is an average of this a month. If you want to do it, let's do it together. And so we kind of just communicated. So I didn't enroll all of those 8 distributors. I think I enrolled 5. And then the other girl going Ruby enrolled 1, and Kristen enrolled 3 or something like that. So it was definitely a joint effort, but we got them on board. Tiffany was getting her $1,000 Ruby bonus, and then Kristen was going Emerald, and 2 of her girls were getting the $1,000 Ruby bonus. So then getting those bonuses, we really pushed, and those girls that were getting those bonuses were working. So it was a lot of layered leadership and all of us working together to reach those promotions. And so it just all happened that night. I think it was 11 p.m. that it happened at the end of the month.
Wow. So what are some tips? We've got what we did tonight is we have our diamonds and above that initially knew about the Zoom. So we make sure they all get on and can bring a guest with them. And then we went ahead and let our general page know. So we're maxed out on this Zoom. So quite a variety of people. But what are some tips? What are some things that you teach your team, from the very beginning, to just get their customers and get their distributors and get going right away?
So when I first sign them up, I kind of see what their why is, because you can kind of get a vibe from someone how fast they're going to be, or they just kind of want to do it part-time if they're wanting to do this. So I kind of see what their goal is, because I do place to promote, so I place on my chart, but I kind of get the vibe from them. So I kind of know where I need to place. Okay, do I think they'll just be a 400 box, or are they really going to run with this? So when I first get them going, I kind of go by goals, because I think sometimes we can get really overwhelmed. I'm a very self-efficient person. You don't have to tell me to post. You don't have to just put it in front of me and say you need this many people and this amount of time. A lot of people aren't like that. They want to know all the details. So when I first sign them up, I kind of do what you guys do now. And I tell them, okay, if you can get your first 4 little customers in 72 hours, we kind of do the shirt thing. And that's worked really well. But then I'm like, okay, keep enrolling your customers and get you 3 distributors. And so they actually create a list of like 30 to 40 people that they think would be really good at this business. And I help them generate a message to send to all these people. And then sometimes they even put me in like a 3-way message with them to kind of seal the deal. And I kind of just let them know, hey, I'm here, like, use me. That's what we're here for. And so sometimes they'll put me in a 3-way message to kind of seal the deal after they've messaged them and kind of got it going. But I'm like, let's run. Like, let's get it going. Like, the faster you do this, then the faster you're going to get that $1,000 or that $500. So I kind of put the money in front of them. Like, this is your goal. Like, let's do this by this time. So I kind of like, oh, you have 30 days or you have 2.5 months. Like, no, let's do it by the end of the month, or let's do it this way. And I kind of just feel like if you give them a goal to set, then they're going to be like working for that by that time frame.
That's awesome. Love that. So the 4 right away, first 72 hours, and then it's like, okay, let's get your 3 distributors really quick.
And it kind of helps because like I have them get their first customers before we really go into distributors, because I feel like it kind of gives them a sense of like comfortable talking to people and kind of getting their first customers before they go into distributors, because sometimes distributors can be kind of intimidating. And so it kind of gives them a feel of like how to talk to people. And then when it comes to the distributors, they kind of feel more confident in what they're doing so they can talk to the potential distributors and stuff.
Awesome. So
I always recommend starting with people that you know.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like, I started with everyone that I knew. People were like, okay, this girl's crazy. But I'm like, if I don't offer it to them, someone else is going to.
True.
So I just highly recommend starting with everyone that you know and then go from there.
Awesome. So one of the leaders on our team asks, she said, so it sounds like she's built a lot, helped build a lot of the people on her team. So have those people stayed or have they quit since you built them?
I actually, so you kind of learn like trial and error with this business. But so I helped build a few people. And then some people that were building on their own, you kind of just let them run with it. So you kind of build in other places. 2 of the double diamonds that I've built have quit. The rest of them have actually stayed. And it's kind of like I'm enrolling the distributors, but they're doing the training. So it's like I kind of get with them for the first week or 2. But then I introduce them to their uplines and their enrollers of where I've placed them. I'm like, hey, I'm still here to help you. She's also another resource for you to go to. That way you get twice as much help, which is so awesome. So I kind of explain like why I've placed them or who their new leader is. And then that person kind of takes control of their team. So they do their Zooms, they do their chats. They don't really have their own pages until I think Kristen or my presidential has her own page, but they have like a chat with their team, but we all really work together in one page. So they're still working with me, but that person is their leader. So if they're not leading, they're going to crumble, So even though I placed the distributor, they have been leading them. And so they've been working with them. They kind of take them under their wing. And so we really try to implement layered leadership so that doesn't happen, so that people aren't just like, okay, well, she's just going to build me to double diamond and I'm going to make $6,000 a month. It's like, no, I'll place the distributor, but you're still going to be leading and training and taking over that responsibility. And so they kind of get to know each other. And it's almost like they become friends and they become comfortable with each other. So we really work with layered leadership so that doesn't happen. But I have had 2 double diamonds that did quit. But the rest of them, my presidential, and I have some triple diamonds and stuff that have stayed, and they're awesome leaders.
Yeah.
That is cool.
Yeah,
so
our
awesome.
story is very similar. So I have one of my other leaders just said, so being a red, how do you push your team without pushing them away? Struggle is real, isn't it?
It's stupid cold, and then I'm like coughing, and then I get hot, and then I get cold again. I think I'm dying. But like a pregnancy, don't get a cold when you're pregnant because you cannot get over it. I've had it for like 2 weeks, I think. Anyways, so being a red, you kind of just have to learn how to take people and figure out how they learn. And at the beginning of the business, I kind of had to learn that people learn differently than I do. Some people need more attention than I needed. Kortney didn't have to message me all the time. She was just kind of like, oh, you're going diamond, or oh, you're going double diamond. Like, I taught myself a lot of stuff, so she didn't have to. But I quickly learned that some people aren't like that. So I kind of just figure out how they learn and I adjust to them. So if someone needs more attention, there are those ones that I have to message like almost every day for like 30 days and be like, okay, what do you need help with? Or, okay, yeah, I'm answering your questions, texting all the time. Or I'll have to get on a Zoom with them once every couple of days. But then I have those leaders that I don't have to do that with, that I know they're working, I know they're building, I know they're started off strong. And I have people that I enroll, if they take off super fast and enroll like I have a girl that enrolled last Friday and she's already enrolled like 9 loyal customers and 2 distributors. Like she's not one I have to message all the time to be like, oh, hey, this is your goal. She kind of just knows. So you kind of just have to figure out your team on an individual basis. Kind of figure out how they learn and adjust to them. Because even though I'm a red, some people aren't. Like Kristen, my presidential diamond, she's actually like my best friend now. We're so close. I'm just one that I'm very competitive. I don't really care what people think. I've always kind of been really confident, and so I never really cared that much. I'm like, okay, they don't pay your bills. Her feelings get hurt really easy. And so you kind of just have to learn, like sometimes like she'll think I'm mad or I'm like, wait, no, like, and so you kind of have to learn just how to read each other and figure out how the other person learns, because that's what's going to make you really good teammates, is being able to feed off of those other leaders and the people that you enroll, and just kind of learn on an individual basis what they're going to need from you.
I love that. You know, one of the things that I like to do, Kortney, is there's the color personality test that you can take. And so a lot of my new distributors, I will even have them take that personality test right away, because it only takes like 10, 15 minutes. So then I know what their primary color is, because then I know how to incentivize them, and I know how to talk to them. Because,
yes.
And so there's somebody that just asked a question about, she said, I'm such a yellow and I tend to want to drag everyone with me, but it's not working. You've got to figure out what inspires those people, because if you try to coddle a red, you're going to drive them nuts. You're going to drive them
I am one of those people, like, no, like if Kortney messages me, okay, what are you doing? I'm like, dude, I got this. Like, no. But then I'm like, Kristen, she's not one you have to like, but if you put money in front of me or you put something that like I want in front of me, I'm going to be doing the work to get it. But some people some different things push different people. So you just have to figure that out. And that's cool. I don't ever have them take the personality test. I kind of just get the vibe of what they're going to need and then just kind of go from there. But I should have them do that, so I kind of know how to relate to them.
You know what's interesting? If you have them do that, then they'll they kind of learn along the way that there's other personalities, and it's kind of teaching them how to relate to other people as well. So I don't know, maybe it'll help a little bit.
So here's
I should definitely do that.
So when you have people and you're giving them their goals,
mm-hmm.
and you're checking in with them and they're just not doing the work, how often do you check in with them, or do you just move on quick, or what's your take on that?
This is something I really had to learn with this business, because I did take it kind of personal, because I kind of just thought, like, why does someone not want this extra money? Like, why are they not doing what I'm telling them to do? Like, it's work, but it's easy work. So, like, it would drive me crazy. And I would just push. And then I finally, like, clicked one day. I'm like, all of this energy I'm putting into these people, I could be putting into my workers. Like, I was getting so tired. Because when you are a mass enroller, you enroll a lot of people. I mean, your attention, like, it was really exhausting. So now I kind of just, like, when I enroll them, I kind of get the vibe. The first couple of days, I'm like, okay, watch this video. Let me know what questions you have. Or I'll tag them and stuff. And then I'm with them every single day, like, messaging them, okay, hey, girl, like, how's it going with your first 4 little customers? Have you messaged this? Or really close. But then if I'm not getting much feedback, or they're flat out ignoring me, or they have excuses every single day, I usually give it like maybe 2 weeks at tops. And then if I'm not getting that work and that feedback from them, I kind of just move on, and I'm kind of like, okay, I'm here if you need anything. I'm here if you have questions for me. And then I kind of just go back to working with the people that are working, because you are going to wear yourself out if you're constantly pouring in to these people that aren't wanting it and don't catch the vision. Because some people won't ever catch the vision. They're just kind of like, okay, I wasted $99 and signed up. Maybe she'll move some customers under me. But you just have to learn that the more you do that, the more you kind of enable them.
Yes.
And so you will literally drain yourself. My favorite story, I don't know if y'all remember my heifer story at conference. I'm like known as the heifer girl, but like they asked me my biggest like aha moment. And my dad, I grew up on a ranch. So I grew up in a really small town, raised cattle and horses and stuff. And I went home to visit them one day, and my dad was going on and on about this heifer that had died. And he kept talking about it. And he was so distraught about this cow. And I'm like, he has like 100 cows in the pasture. He was talking about how young this cow was, how much, you know, she was so young, so she was going to breed. She was going to produce a lot of money. She had so much potential, but she died. And so he was so distraught about it. And finally, I just looked at him, and I was like, just get another one. And he was like, okay. He's like, just get another one. And so I was like, just get another one. I said, you're so worried about this one heifer when you have 100 out in the pasture that are going to breed next season and make you money, and you're worried about this one cow. And he was like, okay. So then I was like, wait, I need to apply that to my business. Like, I'm pouring so much energy into these distributors that quit or won't work for me or won't do the things that I'm telling them to do. When I have all these other distributors that are pushing for these bonuses, that are pushing for these residual incomes, and I'm devoting all my attention to the negative, and that's why I was being negative. And so my mom came to me the other day because he had 2 more heifers that died. This has been a year. And she was like, I think your dad needs another pep talk. And so you just have to remember that you're going to exhaust yourself, so you need to focus your attention on the people that want this, because you're going to find out the ones that want this and the ones that don't.
Go get you another heifer.
Just go get another one. Go and roll it.
Go. Need more heifers.
Out there.
So another question here, and I know you kind of mentioned earlier that you have your newbies create a list of potential distributors who they feel like they already in their minds are thinking this person would be great, 30, 40 people. So what do you have different, do you like interview them about those people to help put a specific message together for them? Or is it kind of like, do you have just a script that you generally
I kind of just have a script that I send them. And it's kind of generic, but it's just introducing the business to them, because usually I have them do this before they ever post on social media. Because sometimes when they first post on social media and they first post on Facebook or Instagram and they don't get a lot of likes or they get negative feedback, they don't want to message their friends and family. So it's like, okay, I got negative feedback on social media, so I don't want to message them because they're not going to support me. So I have them send out these messages before they ever post, so that even if these people aren't interested or they say no, they are aware that these people are distributors, so they're going to be seeing posts and stuff, and so they're not automatically going to get like negative feedback from it. So I think I have the message. Do you want me to read it to you?
Yeah.
Sure.
It's kind of just generic, and like they send it out in a mass deal. But but sometimes I say, but if they would prefer to be on the phone, I highly suggest calling them and getting them on the phone. And then if you want to 3-way call, I can get on a call with you too. So I save a lot of the stuff to my notes. It will save you from getting carpal tunnel all the time. So it just says, because usually the generic part is usually girls is who they message first. It's usually not a bunch of guys. So it just says, hey girls, so I just joined up with It Works Global and I'm super excited. I immediately thought of you and thought you'd be super awesome at this business. We promote all natural and plant-based products and get paid commission for everything. I want you to join me and we can do it together. There are so many ways that you can earn extra money. You also be eligible for a $500 bonus on top of commissions. Would you be interested in learning more? And so I also tell them, like, adjust the message to your personality. If there's something you want to add or something you want to take out, feel free to do that, because people do talk differently or have different personalities. So I just tell them to adjust the message to their own personality.
That's good.
But it kind of gives them an idea of like something they could send or say, because they don't ever know what to say at the beginning when they first join.
Mm-hmm. Well, I feel like if 30 to 40, if they're sending that specific message to 30 or 40, they're probably getting a good, 10, 15. They're like, tell me more.
Yeah, they get like, okay, well, give me more information. Or sometimes they get the no, I see it all the time, but I'm super excited for you. But they actually get a lot of support back from these people. And so they're not so skeptical about posting on social media because they didn't get the negativity at the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
That's so awesome. Do you happen to, will you send me, just after we get done, will you send me that script that you read? Okay. Yeah. And then I'll post it in the team page.
Yes, I'd be happy to.
So next then, okay, so let's go one step further then. So they send out 30, 40, and they come back and people say, yeah, I am interested. Send me more. What do you tell them to send next?
Okay, so I don't have this one saved in my notes. I kind of adjust it because sometimes they say, oh, tell me more. What do you do? But I kind of just sum it up. I usually just say, have them sum up what we do. I'm like, so I joined up. They joined up today or yesterday, and say, so we literally post on social media and you have a chance of making residual income. So I kind of explain that. I say we have a first to market product, which is our wraps, and they have to be bought from an It Works distributor. They can't be sold or marketed, through anybody else. And so I kind of put that perk and stuff in there. And I say you have a chance to make there's tons of different ways to make money. I explain that they can make wrap cash, there's fast start bonuses, and then they get residual income, which is their commissions. And then they also make commissions when they start building their own team. They'll make commissions off of their own team as well. And I explain that it's a very team-oriented business, so they're going to have tons of support. They're going to meet tons of people. So I kind of do all the perks whenever they want to know more and kind of just put it all in there so it sounds really appealing to the person that's reading it.
Yeah, I imagine they read that and they go, wow, I want to get paid all these ways. And
some people, and then you get people that are like my generation or like a little younger that are like 18, that are college kids and stuff, and they're like, oh, what's residual income? And you're like, okay, so let's go back a little bit. Like maybe we should Google it.
How old are you?
I'm 26.
26. Crazy.
I'm 5 years old.
You are 5.
He's 5.
He's so cute.
Awesome. Well, let's see here. So I'm looking through here. I think we covered all the questions that we have right now. So let's just kind of move into what are some things that you feel like have made your business run more efficiently, or maybe some tips that you've learned along the way that have just been game changers?
Okay, so at the beginning, I was so excited. So I think my energy is what sealed the deal with a lot of people. But I found when you're talking to people, the more simple you make things and the more you break it down for them, the more appealing it is to them. So if you're talking about the loyal customer program or the 90-day challenge or the business, when you're posting or you're talking to people, make it as simple as possible. They're going to ask you questions, so let them ask you questions and then answer what they're asking. If they say, well, how much is it to get started? You don't have to say everything about the business plus $99 plus the $20 website fee plus your ADBV auto shipment plus. You don't have to go into all the details. Let them ask questions. So because then if you say I had a girl earlier talking about the $99 kit, and she was like, okay, so after the $99, do I have to pay anything else? That's when you can go into the auto shipment or the $150 PBV and then the $20 website fee. But I don't ever put that in my general message that I send out. Let them ask you questions because that gives you more of an opportunity to conversate with them. And the more you're talking to them, the more they're going to feel comfortable with you. Something else is don't ever count anyone out. I still have people that I talked to at the very beginning when I first joined in April of last year that are just now joining me or just now answering back. And so I keep a binder. I'm very all about being organized in this business. So I have my team create binders. So this is my It Works binder. And so I have in the front, I put my steps success in the front. So I kind of give myself a goal. I'm going to complete my steps success 3 times this month. If it's in the front of my binder, I see how many distributors and how many customers I need that month to fill that goal. And I'll put the month at the front, that one's September, and then I have October behind it. So then the second one, I have my compensation plan in the second tab. Oh. Hang on. I don't know what I just did.
You shared screen, I think.
I did. I don't know how to get it off. I said I don't even know what that is. Ah! It's like someone is like doing it for me. Oh, wait.
There it
I was
is.
like, I don't know what happened.
Maybe somebody else shared it. I don't think it was you. I think
Oh,
somebody
I was like, I'm trying to get it off of it, but it was like not letting me. So the second tab, I have the compensation plan. And I have a lot of my distributors create this too because it's like right in front of them, so they don't have to go to eSuite every time they want to look up something in the compensation plan. And then I set a goal like every month of like, I have a list from like 1 through 30. So of like how many distributors I want to enroll that month. So when I enroll them, so like that was September, and then whenever I can kind of keep track, and I put the date of when they signed on there. And so like I have, a girl named Corey, she signed September 5th. So I know that she's like her 30-day mark. So how long I have to get her, make sure she gets Fast Start qualified for me to get that $100 bonus. So when they become Fast Start qualified, I highlight their name. And then when they get their 4, I put their like number beside it. And that kind of just keeps me like, so I know kind of where they're at. And so I kind of know what their next goal is going to be. So then I have these logs that I make. I can send you the logs too if anyone is interested in them. But the loyal customer, and I put all of my potential loyal customers in this log. I have like 20 sheets. That's another tab. And every person that I talk to that I have a conversation with that I want that will eventually order or that I need to follow up with, I have their name and their number and what products they were interested in. Then when they sign up, I highlight their name. So when I go like on Fridays to follow up, every person on that list that's not highlighted are people I continuously need to be following up with. And it also tells me which products they were interested in so I can make the message more personal. Then I have the same one for distributors. It just has their name and their contact info. And so I continuously add to this list when I have potentials message me or I talk to them. And so when they sign up, I highlight their name off. So everyone that's not highlighted is people I need to be following up with to get them to join my team. Then the last tab I have is my charts. So all the people that I personally enroll that they're going for Ruby or going for Diamond or anything like that, I have their chart back there. So I can, if they say, okay, where should I place this person or where do I need help with, I kind of help them update their charts. And so I keep those in the back, or if I ever need a chart, they're just there. So that's kind of how I stay organized with my business. And I've just found it really good to be organized with your business because, I mean, even though now I'm full-time with ItWorks and Ryan's home, we're still really busy. So you want to make sure you're really intentional with your business. So you want to make sure that you're not constantly sitting on your phone 24/7. It's a job, but you don't want to feel like you're working 80 hours a week all the time. When I sit down for dinner, I put my phone up. Sometimes when we want to watch a movie, I give that time to Ryan. So there's sometimes you have to give or take a little bit. And so I get a lot of people that have they end up, I call it their why becomes their excuse. Like they join because they want to make extra money for their kids, but now they're not spending enough time with their kids because they're on their phone all the time. So I kind of learned to teach my team that too, so they don't feel that way. I'm like, whatever you're working on, work on that and give it your full attention. So if you're having dinner with your family, put your phone up. That person, you can message them when you're done. If you are playing with your kids for an hour, play with your kids and put your phone up. And then when they go to bed, work your business. Really prioritize your time so that it doesn't feel like you're having to work 24/7. So those are some things that I've kind of learned is just to really stay organized with your business and never count anyone out.
Awesome. So we have one last question for you that I saw pop up here. That's a good one. So earlier you mentioned like on Instagram, on Facebook, when someone messages you that you message them back, or when they comment on there, you message them back. What about when they're liking that post or they're liking that Instagram post? Do you always message all of them also?
I do, but not usually right when they like it. I'll go through at night sometimes and I'll see who's liked my posts, and I'll actually go to their page for a couple of days and I will like their posts or comment on their stuff so they kind of see me interacting on their stuff. And then I'll actually, like, a couple of days later, go back through my posts where people liked it and I've interacted and stuff, and I'll go message them and be like, hey girl, I saw you liked my post about this business. I've been watching you and I follow you and I think you'd be super awesome at what I do. Would you want to hear more? But they've seen me interacting, so I kind of give it a couple of days before I just like, oh, they liked my post, I'm going to go message. So I don't want to be super spammy.
Yeah.
So like but I do believe in like posting isn't asking. So I think if they're liking it, they're somewhat showing interest in it. But I'll usually go back to like posts from like, so today I would go back to posts that I did like Monday or Tuesday, because I've been interacting on those people's posts that I see interacting on mine. So then they kind of know who I am or that I've been interacting some. And also it will help them interact more on your posts. So they're going to see, because they're like algorithms, like if they see you interacting on theirs, they're going to go to your page more. So then they'll be seeing more of your posts and stuff. But I try to give it a couple of days and interact for a little while before I message them.
And I love that. I love that message. I didn't catch the second half, but you said I've been watching you and I've been following you.
I just say, hey girl, I saw you liked my post about what I do. I've been following you for a while and I think you'd be so awesome at what I do. Have you ever considered it?
Good.
Awesome.
And it kind of lets them know too that I've checked out their page or I see their stuff and I believe that they would be really good at it. So then sometimes they're like, yeah, can you give me more information? Or sometimes they even just say, no, I'm not interested, but I like your post. So you kind of just know kind of what they're looking for. And that's fine, because eventually they will be interested. It just takes people a little while to come around, but you know they're watching you.
Well, and you build primarily on social media, but do you do launch parties to people that are local for you?
I did not until about 2 months ago. Most of my team was kind of wanting more information about wrap parties, and I kind of felt like I was doing them an injustice, like not being very informative about it. So I did a call with like Ashley Olive and people that do a lot of wrap parties, and I've been doing some trainings with them. But I'm like, I can't expect them to host wrap parties if I'm not. So the people that I've been signing locally, we've been scheduling wrap parties for that month. During the month, like the first 30 days that they sign up, and I have been doing them, but I didn't do them up until about 2 months ago.
That's how a true leader thinks, and you're obviously doing amazing with your business. And so just to make sure I heard this right, when you started this business, you were going to college like 16 hours a week. You were working 40 to 50 hours a week, but you got in, you made the time, you found the time. Through that process, you planned a wedding, you got married, now you're pregnant, 7 months pregnant, and somehow through all of that, you worked this business so crazy that you promoted like to ambassador in less than 2 years.
It was crazy. It's been such a crazy journey. And sometimes me and Ron are like you kind of, it was so fast. It's kind of like a blur. I'm like, okay, like I kind of went through that ambassador funk. Like some people think like, oh, she's never had a problem. She's never had struggles. Like she went ambassador in 11 months, but I've had those struggles. Like I've doubted myself. Like I went ambassador and I was kind of like, I don't even know how I got here. Like it was kind of like I went through that funk. I didn't really know what to do next. And so I went through a couple months of only enrolling 2 or 3 distributors or 4 or 5 loyal customers when I'm used to enrolling 10 to 15, if not more, distributors. So I kind of had to teach myself how to get back into the basics of what I was doing. So every leader goes through struggles with their business. They question themselves. When I had those 2 double diamonds quit, it's kind of like, what did I do as a leader to make them quit? You know, or your paychecks drop, or you kind of get stalled in your business. We all go through it. I'm just not super verbal about it. I just don't blast it everywhere. I just figure out what I need to do to overcome it, and then I'm kind of quiet about it, and I just figure it out.
That's awesome. Well, I know at least one person posted earlier that you are their new idol.
Aw, that's so sweet.
We love to bring amazing people onto these, and your story is just flat out incredible. So.
I didn't know all of your story. I heard the heifer story, but I'm so excited that we got to hear it and that you just poured I know our team's so excited right now. They love you.
Probably like she really needs to get over this cold and stop coughing.
That's so exciting too.
Oh, I love him. He's so cute.
You remember the story I told about the one that almost died?
Yes.
That's him.
That
That's
him? Oh, what's his name?
Elijah.
Elijah. He's so cute.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Well, thank you so much for your time, girl. We appreciate you.
You're so welcome. Thank you guys for having me. I hopefully they learned something.
Yes, I'm sure we've got tons of notes over here, so I know.
I'll send you those scripts, and if any of your team wants those like logs, those Excel logs, if they want to make a binder or something, just let me know and I can send them over to you.
Perfect. No, I do. I want them. I know they're gonna drive me crazy for it. So if you just want to send it over to me, that'd be awesome.
Yep, I'll send them over to you guys.
Thank
you so much.
You're welcome. Thank you guys for having me.
Yes.
Yep. You have a
Good
great
night,
night. Get over that cold.
I'm trying.
All right. We'll talk to you later.
Bye.